Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are on Module 2, Lesson 1. So we are starting our second module, which will be all about fractions. So today we're just kind of reminding ourselves a little bit about what fractions mean and what they look like and how we partition pictures. So I'm going to start with mine. Here is my first question that I'm going to show you. And it says 4 divided by 4. And you might wonder what this has to do with fractions, but I'll show you. So let's say if I make a story problem for this and I say I have 4 apples and I want to divide them between 4 people. Okay, so if I have 4 apples, and even though they're apples, I'm going to always just draw something easy like rectangles. So if I have 4 apples, those are my 4 apples, and I want to divide them between 4 people. Well, isn't there enough apples that everyone can get one? Person 1 could get this apple. Person 2 could get that apple. Person 3 could get that apple. And person 4 could get that apple. So each person got one whole apple. That would be my answer. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. Now, I know that seems really easy, so let's go on to one a little harder. Okay, so now let's look at this problem. We have kind of a word problem here, or a story problem. So we have 3 friends, and they're all thinking about this pizza. And now there's only 1 pizza, and they want to divide it between the 3 of them. So 1 pizza, and there's 3 friends who want to share it. So let's kind of remember fractions from 3rd grade. Whenever I'm going to partition, or we say cut or divide a shape for fractions, I have to do it equally. We call them equal parts or equal shares. So it wouldn't be fair if I said, oh, the 3 of them are going to share it, so I'm going to cut this little slice for him, and she gets this little slice, and then she gets the rest. That wouldn't be fair. So whenever we're dividing or partitioning, we want equal shares. So I'm going to do my very best to equally divide it fairly. So then he could get that portion, she could get that portion, and she could get that portion. So how much did they each get? Well, they each got 1 out of the 1, 2, 3 pieces of the pizza. So we would call that 1/3. Okay, so let's look at another one. This one says I have 1 divided by 4 now. So we could decide what it is. Maybe I have 1 cake. And this time I need to divide it into 4 slices for my 4 kids. So again, I want to partition it as fairly as possible. I want equal shares. Now, last time I used vertical lines, I could use horizontal lines, or I could use even a mixture. But what I want to do is make sure it's fair. So here's my 1 cake, and it's divided in 4 slices for my 4 kids. So my 4 kids are Ashley, Will, Luke, and Logan. So each of my kids gets 1 piece. Ashley gets 1, Will gets 1, Luke gets 1, and Logan gets 1 out of the 4. So see if you're kind of seeing the pattern here. Okay, so now I'm going to do one quick story problem with you. This says Ryan and Jada want to share 5 granola bars equally. The granola bars are each a different flavor: strawberry, blueberry, peanut butter, apple cinnamon, or chocolate chip. If each friend wants to try each of the flavors, how many granola bars does each friend get? Express the answer as a fraction. So what are they sharing, splitting, or dividing? They are sharing, splitting, and dividing the 5 granola bars, and they're going to be divided between 2 people. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 granola bars. I'm gonna move that up so you can see that. So we have 5 granola bars, and we have 2 kids who are gonna share them, Ryan and Jada, but they wanna taste each granola bar. So I'm gonna take this first granola bar, which looks like it's my strawberry, and Ryan's gonna get that piece, and Jada's gonna get that piece. Then this one is my blueberry, Ryan gets that piece, Jada gets that piece. This one is peanut butter, Ryan gets that piece, Jada gets that piece. This one's apple cinnamon, Ryan gets that piece and Jada gets that piece. And then our last one is chocolate chip, and Ryan gets a piece and Jada gets a piece. So how much do each kid, student or child gets? Well, Ryan's gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, and each piece is half large. So he's getting what we'd say 5 halves, and Jada's also getting 5 halves. So kind of look at this pattern that you're seeing here, friends. Okay, so let's do some together now. Here's our first problem, and it says, complete the model to represent 1 waffle shared equally among 5 friends. So here's our 1 waffle, and we need to share equally, which means we need to do our very best to make it fair. Okay, so we have 1 waffle, and we're gonna divide it between 5 friends. So let's cut it up the best we can to make it fair. Now we don't need to use rulers. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just wanna be the best we can. So who's going to get what? Friend 1 gets that piece, friend 2 gets that piece, friend 3, friend 4, and friend 5. So each friend is gonna get 1 piece, and the whole was cut into 5. So each friend gets 1/5. Okay, let's look at one more problem together. So our next problem says 6 waffles, sorry, that's moving. 6 waffles are shared equally by 5 people. Each waffle is a different flavor, and each person wants to try every flavor. Use the model to find how many waffles each friend gets. Express your answer as a fraction. Okay, and they already drew them for us. So our equation is 6 waffles divided between 5 people. And this time they said that everyone wants to try each waffle again. So I need to take this first waffle and cut it up for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. This waffle, cut it up for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. 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 So each waffle has now been cut in 5 slices, and then each person gets to take 1 of each. So the first person can get this slice, this slice, this slice, this slice, this slice, and this slice. So that person got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces, and each whole was cut into 5 pieces. So each person's going to get 6/5. Okay, friends, that is all for today. So make sure you turn to the back and you do your homework page and rate yourself. All right, have a wonderful evening. Good night.